Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw Tips and Tricks. And somebody sent me this blurry bitmap or whatever it is of like a fence to a backyard. And want to know how you could create this, but have black lines, and they do have a little shading. And if you look at it, there's 8 sides. So a couple of things you do, and I've already done it, but you could do this 2 ways. I normally draw in red, but since this is in red, I'm going to double click on my pen tool and make my two, well, I'm using somebody else's. I'm going to go points, and I want to do it in black. Then just get your 2-point line. Now this won't, you need to really get right on the mark to be accurate. But just go around, and then I'm holding down the left mouse button, then I'm letting go, holding down the mouse button, letting go. And then the thing you need to do is make sure you go to a node. Now we can what we're going to do is take an indexing line and put it right there, and another indexing line and put it right there, and then we can move this out of the way. And that other indexing line is going to help me figure out where to put the next step. I'm going to hit P on the keyboard. I'm going to grab where I have my 4-point cross, start moving and holding down my control button. And then let's get rid of these indexing lines so they won't interfere. And then just take a 2-point line and start moving, hold down the control button. Start moving, hold down the control button, because we want them perpendicular. Oop. Now, I did what I don't do is start moving first, then hold down the control button. And if you notice, we're putting lines we're making the octagon, the 8-sided polygon. And we're going to need other ones, but you will not be able to see this part of the fence, so we need to delete that. Then we need to go back and take our 2-point line, and if you will search in here, it's going to tell you midpoint. Start moving, hold down the control button. It'll tell you midpoint. Now this is one way to do it, and I think we could do this with the Extrude tool. I actually went along on that one on purpose. I did the same thing. You need to start moving first and then hold down. Then you can always, if you go long, you can always go through here and clip. Virtually segment, delete those lines. And I think we might have 2 lines right here that are intersecting. I didn't get that line very good. You'd want to take your time. And then just take your Smart Fill tool and go with a light gray on the outside. Now, we had a little leak there, and if we want that line, we need to correct that. There it is right there. Take your Shape tool this time, grab on that line and just click on it, and let's move this one there. Go back to your Smart Fill tool. So now we have a leak there. Shape tool. And actually you could leave this line long for just a second. Make sure, and I didn't get very straight on that one. There we go. Now you can clip that line. That way you know you're there. And let's just finish this, and then I'm going to show you how to do it. And hopefully I can do it with the polygon and Extrude tool, I think. Then maybe get a little darker color and do the back of the fence. We got a little lake there, and if you want the poles to show of the fence, I'm not very good on that angle anyway. So if you were doing this for real, you'd want to go through there, and I'd already seen that leak before I did it. You can always go past, you can always trim them. And then I'm going to go ahead and trim these. even though I don't have to right now. But then you could grab all the lines, and if you want the lines to stand out more, just double click on your pen tool, make them 3 points, make them 4 points, whatever you want to make them, and make them black. And there you have it. Pretty cool, pretty fast. Now, let's take an 8-sided polygon. Holding down the control button to make it perfect. Get the extrude tool, which is underneath your shadow tool, and try to go straight from the middle and then hold down your control button so it'll go up. And you get that. Immediately you can go right here, and this is the hardest part, is to get this guy even. Because it's a little, it's like drawing with a joystick and drawing blind. But you could play around with that. Then take this mark right here and just make it whatever the thickness of your fence wants to be. Now you will need to go to Object and ungroup Extrude tool. Then we can, and this was a lot faster. Now, I don't know if we're perfect because of the rotation, but you won't be able to see that part of the fence. Well, so let's zoom in here and clip that little part. Virtual segment delete key. And you won't be able to see that. I rotated it pretty even. And then just take your Smart Fill tool. I'm already on black, so I'm going to go and do the back. The good thing about this, it might be a little faster, and I'm not going to have any leaks. Pretty cool. Now this one's a little wider, but that's, you can make it bigger. You could actually stretch it out. That's one thing I wish Corel did have, is a rotation instead of having to do that extrude tool. But in this case, it was perfect. We've got a little bit different look to it. And that's just because I might not extruded it enough. I mean, this backyard's bigger than this backyard. If this was going to be a fence, she said. Anyway, I hope that helped her a little bit. Thank you for watching.